League season so far. The best two going head-to-head at Anfield. Liverpool against Manchester City. Contender v defender.
The coming together of the champions and those who would be kings.
Never has the title race been conducted at such an extraordinary, unrelenting pace.
They have delivered perfection. The champions in 2019 are Manchester City.
Never have the runners-up achieved so much, only to fall agonisingly short. Anfield's wait for the title will go into a 30th year.
The rivalry of our day, the reigning champions at the home of the chief challengers.
Hello and welcome along to the analysis show. Yes, we're going to devote the entire 60 minutes of this show today to this game, the most significant we've seen so far this season for sure. Joining me in the studio to get across so much analysis over the next hour, Owen Hargreaves is with me. Owen, great to see you. I think this is a hugely significant weekend, and I think if Liverpool were to win this game at the weekend against City, I don't think there's any coming back for it for Guardiola's team. And I'm amazed I'm even saying that, but that's how strong I feel it is. When you look at the table yourself, do you have the same feeling or not?
Yeah, I bet Pep has the same feeling as you in that sense. He realizes going to Anfield, if it goes to 9 points, it's going to be tough. And I think the only reason Liverpool didn't win the league last season, they only lost one game. I think City lost 4, but they drew too many games. That was Liverpool's issue. They drew 4 games, dropping points there. So I think they drew, did they just? But I'm saying they drew too many. That was their biggest issue, only losing 1 game. So I think realizing that both teams will drop points going forward, but this one for Man City is must win. It's not must win for Liverpool, but for Man City it's a must win.
Yeah. Leicester, we must say, Owen, Leicester play Arsenal Saturday evening. Leicester could actually jump, as you can see there, between Liverpool and City. So, look, no one's denying the work that Brendan Rodgers is doing, but I think we all feel that pretty much what's going to go on come next May will be between the two that are sitting at the top as we speak. In terms of form going into it, how much does that matter? Who's in the best form going into it? Is there one?
I'm amazed Liverpool that they're able to grind out these results. The remarkable thing is, they're probably still not at their best. That's how good Liverpool are. They've become so seasoned, really. And I think that form, they're both flying, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really. But they're both probably not at their best. So this game is special because it's the two best teams light years ahead of everybody else. But they play different styles. They interpret it differently. So the manager is going to be so important in the way they set their teams up.
Has what's happened, has Liverpool's emergence over the last couple of years in particular, and has that spooked, got under the skin of Pep Guardiola a little bit? Is there a fear factor? Are we seeing a fear in a Manchester City team for the very first time against Liverpool under Guardiola?
Yeah, I think if you were, the Man City players and Pep would never say it, but I bet if you ask them, this is the only team they respect as much as almost as their own game. Because Liverpool, they're not as good as Manchester City in terms of possession, but in terms of intensity and second balls and all those phases, Liverpool are better. And I think Manchester City know that. The players know that. And at times, going to Anfield, if you don't cope with the intensity, I think it's the one stadium in the country that can grab a game. The stadium on its own, forget the players, the atmosphere can grab a game. And Manchester City saw that a couple of seasons ago.
Said something about the tactical fouls that...
But maybe they're not getting at each other. Maybe they're trying to get at the refs. Just prep them and plan them for the game.
Yep.
Keep an eye on things because we know, look, with VAR and all those different things, a lot of those decisions decide a lot of these big games. We're
going to have a look at the starting 11s, Owen. These are how the two teams started in their... Well, actually, they didn't start. Liverpool didn't start with Fabinho against Aston Villa because he was left out of that one in case he got a yellow card. But this is how City started against Southampton. Now, look, we don't think they're obviously going to go this way. So let's make the changes, we think, first and foremost for City. Angelino, I don't believe will play in this position. Do you?
I'm with you. Yeah, I don't think he'll play.
Do we think that Cancelo can play there?
He's a super player. He really is. He can play both fullback positions.
I'm assuming is Mendy fit? Do we know if Mendy's fit this weekend? He is fit, so he could go either of those. Would you think Mendy?
Who would you pick?
I mean, I really like Cancelo, but I just think for the balance, Owen, I just think he might do that. Although Mendy's struggled a little bit against Liverpool as well.
Going forward, Mendy is
great. Going that way,
as good as anyone. But the problem is at Anfield.
Yeah.
You know, with Mo Salah and Alexander-Arnold down that side.
Do you want to put Cancelo in? Should we put him in?
I think he plays Cancelo, yeah.
Right, let's do that.
I think he'll just... He's got some really big game experience. And this
played
guy,
there as well.
He's a super player. He's a right back, but he can play as a left back.
Okay. David Silva, the manager, has been at pains to actually say that unfortunately he thinks he's going to miss out the weekend. Now, again, unless it's that one that they throw him in at the last minute. So let's assume David Silva doesn't play. There's Phil Foden. There's others. There's Bernardo Silva. Do you think that's what he'll do?
Yeah. He was probably the best player in the game last season.
Right.
When the two played. This guy, in possession, he's a number 10. He's super gifted.
He actually had him in with Fernandinho at one point, didn't he? Almost as a holding player in those games.
Well, that's the problem it's going to be. Essentially, these are 3-10s. Gundogan is actually an attacking player.
Yeah.
So to play in there as a sitter is a huge ask against such a really good Liverpool team. So these guys are so offensive.
So, I mean, we're one short, obviously, in this wide right position. We've got Gabriel Jesus, we've got Mahrez. We do have Phil Foden, but... Riyad Mahrez?
The thing is, Mahrez missed the penalty, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he might be thinking of that still, but I don't think he has any choice. I think he has to play Mahrez. But again, is Mahrez going to track
Robertson
at Anfield? He's not great at that. That's why I think we'll see a surprise.
Do that. I mean, you could have him out there if he thinks he'll track him, but
whether he plays these
two,
two,
he prefers him off that side.
I think he could play these two up with each other, and then kind of fill the midfield.
Right.
So that the midfield players can get out to the fullbacks. I think Pep's going to surprise us with something to combat what is essentially their number 10s in Alexander-Arnold and Robertson.
Little interesting stat on this man. What's the one ground he hasn't scored at in 10 goes at it?
I'm guessing it's Anfield.
It certainly is. Amazing that. I mean, that guy scores goals everywhere and on such a regular basis. Never found the net at Anfield. That's very interesting. Let's leave that like that, Owen, for now. Let's leave City in that sort of shape. Look, I'll tell you what, if he does go with that, that's a decent team. Of course, we know that Stones and Fernandinho, it's not ideal, but he is where he is. I don't think it'll be too far from that, do you?
No, and if you just look at that with what Liverpool have, Liverpool are the favourites. Take away Anfield and the advantage they have there, and then the fortress that is Gundogan, Stones, Fernandinho against Liverpool's front three.
You worry?
Yeah, and I bet Pep would be as well, because he knows how good Liverpool's front three are. And if he's first choice, if he's got everybody healthy, and Kompany's there and Laporte's there, and Fernandinho's in there, he feels probably really comfortable. But he's got an issue at left back. He's got an issue with one of the centre back. He's got essentially an attacking midfield player playing whole midfield at Anfield. That is a lot of areas that be having issues going into, a title deciding game.
He could, Owen. He could do that. I mean, there's nothing to stop him doing that and bringing this man in. He's got two.
I think even Manchester City fans don't want to see those two play together anymore because, after what I think was it Norwich?
Yeah. Norwich, they were really poor.
I'd be amazed if those two played together.
Liverpool, you think that's pretty much... We're expecting Fabinho, obviously very much rested at the weekend because of that yellow card, as I mentioned. He'll be back in there.
Yeah.
Salah, Jordan Henderson didn't play last night because he was ill against Genk in the Champions League. Assuming that's nothing too serious and he'll be back in. What about that one?
That's the only player. That's the only one up in the air. Lovren or Joe Gomez. But obviously Joe Gomez, he's probably the favourite to partner Van Dijk. But because of the injuries and he's lost a bit of form, a bit of confidence. Lovren's the only one. Wijnaldum, he absolutely loves.
Yeah.
That's probably his midfield three. No question really about the fullbacks in the front three. So it's probably only really Lovren or Joe Gomez.
Is he firing on all cylinders at the moment? Is he at his absolute very best?
We always say that, and then his numbers say he's one of the best in the game. Mo Salah makes things happen. Thing is, he set that bar so high, didn't he? And now we expect him to get 40 goals, but he'll fancy his chances against, if he's running into those channels there with Stones and Gundogan's in there, and whether it's Mendy and Cancelo, Mo Salah with Alexander-Arnold down that side, they'll feel that. That's a good option.
Sorry, I'll change that back, Owen. I will. So if we do come back to that, we've got Gundogan back in there. Bernardo Silva, that's it. Yeah, okay. Leave that there. Right, just want to have a look at some graphics. We've got some interesting numbers here with regards to these fullbacks and midfield players. And the way that each team is kind of designed. So you've been mentioning about Liverpool's two fullbacks, almost like they're two number 10s. So much comes from them. If you look at their fullbacks compared to City's fullbacks, 2 goals they've scored, 6 assists, but look at the chances Robertson and Trent have created compared to Walker and Zinchenko or Walker and Mendy. Only the 1 goal, 2 assists, half the chances. And then you move into midfield and you see Liverpool with just the 4 goals, only 3 assists, 30 chances created, compared to 7, 13 and 87 chances from that City midfield. So there's the differences almost in a nutshell there between the two.
Yeah, there is. And Manchester City are one of the only teams I can think of that actually play with almost 3 number 10s at times.
Right.
De Bruyne, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, at times they're all on the pitch together.
Yep.
Liverpool don't have one. All their midfield players are essentially what we call an 8. So it's a 6, an 8, and a 10. They don't have a 10 really, Liverpool. Since Coutinho's gone, they don't have that. They're number 10 backs, and you see that in terms of the assists, the chances that they create, and that's why the styles clash. They're different, and whoever finds a way to combat the other team's strengths, then will be successful.
Well, you make that point, Owen, because it was this game, wasn't it? I remember you and I were actually working on this game. It was a 5-0 demolition for City against Liverpool, but it could have been so different.
Liverpool, up to the red card, and a lot of people think you're crazy, were the better team. They were, they caused City some trouble, a ton of trouble, especially Mo Salah off that right-hand side. There was a ton of space.
They played a back 3. Otamendi left in this gully with Mo Salah.
Yeah, well, he didn't. It was a mess. Pep was on the touchline going crazy. And this was kind of the old Mo Salah, getting those positions, and there wasn't as much end product.
No.
He's fixed that. But the point is, the way Liverpool played, they caused Manchester City some trouble. And they could have been ahead. They had some really good moments in the game.
They did. And of course, the red card, as you just mentioned there, to Sadio Mane changed the complexion of the game completely. It ended up a 5-0 demolition. But did Jurgen Klopp take comfort from that? And did he draw from what he saw in those opening exchanges that day to think that we can go shoulder to shoulder, if not go better than this team?
Yeah, they did. And I think he'll realise that red card changed everything. And I think he'll accept that. They tried, and then the thing is, when you have one less, then you get punished. And even that great Liverpool team got punished. But up to that point in the game, they were arguably the better team.
Yeah.
And I think as players and as a manager, even the opposition, they'll understand that game was never 5-0, never ever.
No. Same season, Owen. This was an incredible game, finished 4-3 to Liverpool, January 2018. But we saw this Liverpool press, and we saw City making uncharacteristic mistakes in possession and getting really punished for it.
Well, not really them making mistakes, just Otamendi. All the other players are really good in possession. Otamendi, there's no danger there. And they're mistakes that you can't make in these types of games. Problem is with this front 3, and on the day they were so clinical. And that's one of the biggest differences in these games, in both boxes. Pep always talks about it. Liverpool press, they're so good at it.
Yeah.
They really are.
Now City are playing their way out here. Sane turns it round the corner. It ends up going into Aguero. Now this is interesting, Owen. When Liverpool win that ball there, they pinch it. It almost gets away from him again. Here,
Andy, this is the point, and this is where City are the best. But when they don't win this is what they want. They hunt and they press in packs. If you can get the ball beyond this midfield, look at the numbers they have in behind.
Yeah, they're Liverpool here, look. They've got 5 waiting. Whoops, let me just try that again. They've got 5 there waiting against 4 blue shirts if they can just find someone.
And they always press from the front, and they want to win the first ball. Watch what happens when this ball goes over the midfield.
Clever ball from
trouble.
Ronaldo.
Oh, it's a brilliant ball. But the problem is, Pep knows on the side, they're in trouble. This is trouble. And the transition of Liverpool is the best anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Mistake from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was unlucky.
Amazing touch and finish from Mo Salah.
And that's what I mean, that atmosphere, that stadium grabbed that game.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, Owen, we had that game at the the Etihad, where they won 5-0.
Yeah.
But there were signs in that game. Then we had this night where Liverpool's press clearly, it flustered City a little bit. They made mistakes. They ended up winning the game. City scored 2 late goals. Kind of flattered City 4-3 a little bit.
Oh, it did,
didn't
yeah.
it?
And
On the night.
I mean, this City team is probably one of the best we've ever seen in the Premier League. They conceded 3 goals in 9 minutes. They were on the ropes. They looked like they were going to get knocked out. Liverpool almost knocked them out. So, and the point is, Anfield and Liverpool, they can do that too. Even a great Manchester City team.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Pep will be worried of. That if they concede, can they respond mentally? Because in that game, they didn't.
Yeah. When you actually look, the lowest possession that Pep has had with his City team since he's been there, each time it's been against this Liverpool team. And Liverpool, Owen, let's be honest, they're not the most beautiful team in terms of wanting to keep the ball. We've seen far better teams in the Premier League in terms of the way that they're constructed and the way they keep it. Liverpool are quite direct. So is this Liverpool, with these numbers here, these are the worst that Guardiola's experienced. They're hardly catastrophic, but they're the worst he's had. Is that because Liverpool were keeping the ball, or is that because he has actually gone, we're going to drop away, we're going to concede ground, let you have it, we're not going to come after you like we do 99% of the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point. The reason those stats are such a surprise, really, is because we all know City normally have 70% possession. So that is a big gap. I don't think we give Liverpool enough credit for as good as they are in possession. Jurgen Klopp always moans about it. Everybody goes on about his counter-press and the second phase. But he said we're a possession-based side. And they are. They're probably not as good as Man City at it, even though those 2 games last season, they were essentially 50-50. Right. I think they were 49-51 both games. So whether it's something consciously that Pep's saying, look, we don't want Liverpool to counter us, so we'll let them have the ball. Like, I could see that, but I don't think we give Liverpool enough credit how good they are actually in possession of the ball.
Yeah. After they'd actually got themselves in the game a little bit, City, again, we can still see that similar theme. You can see the back 4 here. Again, look where Walker's position is. Look at the amazing amount of room you're potentially allowing Robertson to have, but he's adamant that he's going to stay in there tight to his centre-halves, I mean.
Yeah, and that's also, again, we said about the Liverpool's front 3. If you think about City's front 3, it'd be there, wouldn't it? It'd be Aguero, it'd be Sterling, it'd be Mahrez.
Correct.
But the Liverpool front 3, they play different.
They do.
The width comes from the wide players in Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. The front 3, they play right on top of each other. And maybe that's why, out of respect, you never see Kyle Walker there.
No.
But he knows I have to be in there, because if those 3 boys are running inside, the centre-backs can't cope.
They can't cope, exactly.
And Pep knows that. That's why he's set the players up.
And again, I just think it's so unusual to see Mendy and Walker in those positions with the ball back with the opposite goalkeeper, you know, and even actually...
That's an English back 4, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. And again, if you look at Raheem Sterling, this is interesting, this one, because that's Aguero. This is David Silva here, who actually triggers this little press. And he urges Raheem Sterling to go. If you watch, when the ball comes back to the goal, so David Silva goes, Raheem Sterling goes, but look at Mendy. Owen, they're not going anywhere.
What?
It's like...
He knows he can't, because he's looking and thinking, that's Mo Salah, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't leave him.
Yeah.
But really, essentially, you're right, because of David Silva, and once David Silva goes, the press has been initiated.
You've got to go.
You've got to go. And that's where we say that they're posing different problems. Mendy should go.
He should go. But
because
if you watch him, Owen,
he thinks, oof.
You watch him, watch what Mendy does. Mendy he thinks, I should go, but no, I'm going to stay at home.
I'm going to stay in here.
I'm going to stay here. And I'm just going to let Trent travel with the ball and keep that shape against those 3. So it's interesting that clearly Guardiola has probably done a lot of work. Again, City can do this. They turn the ball over well. And now they've got... That was the point I wanted to make here. I mean, again, if Mendy's position, if he had have gone, you'd now be seeing Mendy get there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and you'd see...
Walker.
You'd see Walker there.
You would.
But because the front 3, they play so tight together...
When have you ever seen
never.
City attacking and they've got that at the back?
They don't do that against anyone else.
No.
Literally, those 2 are always on their own. And maybe, say, Fernandinho be in front. But those fullbacks are up there.
They are.
They always are. And that is, you're right, that is a little wrinkle. Pep. In the Premier League and Klopp, you know, he's understood he's had to adjust, which is great. That's why he's one of the best, Pep, because he adjusts.
Yeah. Again, would you think he would ever do anything like this for any? Would he do it for Spurs? Would he do it for Chelsea with Pulisic and Abraham and Willian? Would he do it for them? I don't think so, do you?
No, they're not as good. And the thing he respects so much about Liverpool is, and he knows Liverpool are better than City, is that transition. When they turn over the ball, then they transition.
Yeah.
They're even better than Man City at that.
Kyle Walker here, Owen. Guarantee you Kyle Walker will be doing that.
Yeah.
Against any other team in the land, Kyle Walker will be going there, flying round, but he's just happy to stay goal side. Watch Mendy, the far side. He now decides, yes, I am going to go because Sterling's got good possession.
That's
so
exactly
he goes.
what it is. When they get safe possession, you can go.
And now Mendy's thinking, I'm just going to get back. He's not hanging around to see what develops. And then, again, you've still got 5 back there guarding, Mo Salah effectively, and maybe a couple of others, but they're all guarded and marked very, very closely.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that the work that Guardiola's had to do with that team in order to convince them that this is the way to beat Liverpool, to try to beat them.
Yeah, because Liverpool's wide players play different than City's wide players. So essentially, they do have different styles, and that's why it's such a fascinating matchup, because there'll be a bit of detail in the game where Pep will be thinking of what Klopp will do.
Yeah.
And that's why I think somebody's going to spring us a surprise.
Yeah. Watch this again, another one about, normally you'd see Mendy, the fullbacks, and I'm just going to circle them for you here, Mendy and Walker. Normally you'd see those guys flying up the field when the ball is in this position, when it's there, but there's no real desire to go forward, Owen, and to really go and join in. Hardly any.
No, and the point is, they're scared to death of these three.
Yeah. So would Klopp always say, you 3 stay up, and I'm telling you now, we'll drag 4 of them back, 5 of them back?
Well, normally I think you're right. These boys would be up the pitch, but because these guys are staying up the pitch, then the players will be looking, thinking, boss, can I go?
Yeah.
Boss,
Do I go? Am I allowed to go?
No, these are staying up here. I'm going to have to stay in. And the centre-backs will, especially Laporte and company, they would have said, no, stay here. The game could have been different. Mara scores that penalty.
Yeah.
It's such a different game. And that's why it's so tightly contested. And tomorrow will be as well. There won't be much in it.
Does Guardiola have to win this one? Do you think he has to almost like really convince his own players and himself that, yeah, we can beat these and we can win this title again?
Convince is harsh, isn't it? I mean, they've been pretty convincing.
No, but I just think at the moment...
Yeah, it's a must-win for City, but not for Liverpool.
Right.
For sure. But everybody's convinced of Pep and his methods, aren't they? The only problem is Klopp is his kryptonite in a way. And Pep knows that, and they're probably in each other's brains. They've been in with the talk before the game midweek about Mane and all different things and tactical fouls. They're thinking about each other and what's going to happen. But there's a ton of respect there. And I think they both know it could go either way.
Did we see signs maybe in this one, at the start of this year, the 2-1 win for City, did we see signs of him being ultra brave and ultra positive on their own patch in terms of, we use the term overloads, where they've got 5 forward-thinking players effectively against a Liverpool back 4 right through the middle. So
yeah, we see that, and that is how City set up. We said about the wide players from Liverpool, they're in there. This is the width from City.
Yeah,
so they make the pitch big. And the reason they do that is because really what Pep wants, he always talks about the build-up. From here, he lets the boys do their own thing a little bit. This ball,
he wants that direct.
Wants that one. He wants that one to get there wide quickly. Problem is Mo Salah negates that one.
Right.
So if we just run this on a tiny bit, the attacking players are up there because they're trying to create space for that ball in.
Yeah.
But it's not on. Sergio drifts into a space eventually, and then there's the second phase.
Right.
So the first one he wants is that's A.
Yes.
That's not on. So Sergio
B
drops into there.
that.
B. And then you're...
Then, even from there, always mindful of what's going on at the back.
3v2, isn't it? A bit of safety. But yeah, but I think the level of detail, these two, have the most detail of anyone.
Interesting stuff that, yeah. Look out for some of that tactical detail at the weekend for sure. When we